Who are you? Esteemed gentleman with a jacket and tie.
Good evening and welcome to the Feminine Drive. Yes, it's another Friday again, and this is what? Our 4th edition as we celebrate Calypso History Month and we celebrating women in Calypso. Yeah? Another Friday roll wrong again, boy. And I'm excited. And I hope you are excited at home just as I am. Because you know, we have, yes, I say we're doing them by twos. We have 2 guests waiting. But before we reach to the guest corner, you know what I ask you all? How are you doing today? How your week was? How things coming along? How the children going at home with the online teaching? I feel they're settling by now. Yeah. If by now they ain't settling, well, oh gosh. What it is, they ain't have laptops yet, they ain't have tablets. Well, I know that could be a problem too, but we getting there, nice? Ain't we getting there? Nice. We need to help them along, all right? So you had a good week this week, and you're relaxing now, and you're vibing with the warrior. So, as with previous episodes, we would look at a woman in Calypso, whether alive today or would have transitioned. We're looking at one who would have contributed significantly to the art form, to this beautiful art form. Yeah, you ever sit down and think what the art form would have been like without woman in it, boy? Yeah, it would have been real boring, you know. Oh gosh, yeah, we know them man and them. We have good contributions from them also, but you ever sit down and ask yourself, I wonder what Calypso would have looked like, what the stage would have looked like without the female input, without the feminine energy? They need us. They needed us to make the thing nice. I'm talking about the stage. Wait, now when I hear we get to those 2 guests later on, talk about stage and performance. So this evening, before I digress and get too excited, I want to talk about a woman who is fondly called Mother in the Calypso arena. Yes, none other than Singin Sandra. Yes, a real stalwart. Here now, I feel I need a whole show to talk about Singin Sandra. Sandra Devines Millington. That's the government name. But you know, we call her Singin Sandra in the entertainment circle. And as I said previously, we refer to her as Mother. Because she depicts that motherly figure. You know, she's there for the younger ones. She always have an advice to give. She, you know, even when you go on her wall on Facebook, she's always giving some motivational talk, always inspiring somebody. That is the person. And listen, to him too long ago, I get to know her on a personal level, you know. When I mean personal, in terms of hands-on, face-to-face, because she would have performed on a show I had last year in the little Carib theater called Iba the Thanksgiving. And here now. But I want to tell you a little more about her. Sandra, or Mother, but for the purpose of this show, I will call her Singin Sandra. She was born behind the bridge. Yes, behind the bridge. Now you understand why she's so vociferous when it comes to things coming out of the ghetto. She's a champion for the ghetto people. She always talk about good things can come out of the ghetto. And not because of where a person born, you have to bring them down. Although it's still happening, I hear people say, if I'm applying for a job, I just have to change my address, you know. I cannot put where I live in Mova and Lavantil and behind the bridge. They ain't calling me at all for that interview. I hear real people say they had to change their address. But Sandra didn't do that. She proud, very proud to tell us that she was born behind the bridge. She grew up in Mova, right? And she went to school in Lavanti. So, 100% ghetto. 100% roots woman. 100% hands-on with the people. Yeah. And from there, she had a long stint in Best Village. Right? This is a woman that she would have spoken about this many times, that she took part in Best Village a lot of times. Acting. She used to act a lot. in Best Village on the stage. One time I think she even portrayed, she did a play where they did a tribute to Sparrow, the mighty Sparrow, who, I'm going to tell you about he just now and the influence he had in her life. So Singin Sandra came on the scene in 1984. Warrior still in school. Are still in Diego Martin Secondary School, Form 5. Yeah? And Singin Sandra came on the scene in 1984 when Dr. Trinbago approached her with 2 songs that he wanted a woman to sing. He particularly wanted a woman to sing this song. And she went to Sparrow Young Brigade, and that was the beginning of things for her. She started off at Sparrow's Young Brigade, the mighty Sparrow. I had to fast track things with Singin Sandra because, as I tell you, she had history long so. And all you know, my show is only an hour, right? Singin Sandra went on to win the Calypso Monarch in 1999 and 2003. By the way, to date, she's the only female Calypsonian to win the Monarch twice. Yes, we have people that came close, as they say, very close. But she's still the only female Calypsonian to have won the Calypso Monarch twice. What a feat. And when Calypso Rose won the Monarch in 1978, it took all of 21 years, yes, before another woman won it. And that woman was Singin Sandra in 1999. 21 years after, boy. She break that cycle. She said, nah, boy. This warrior had to get in there. And I am a warrior, but watch me. You just have to pay respect to bigger warrior, eh? And that is a real warrior. For the things and the pathway and the clearance that Singin Sandra made for us all. That is a real warrior. And she's still a warrior today. Still. Because she don't stand nonsense. That is the person I have grown to know, observing her in the art form. She don't stand nonsense at all. She will tell you as it is. You know, as we say, everybody have their own personality, and we have to appreciate people for who they are. Singin Sandra went on to form, you ever hear about the United Sisters? Yes, Singin Sandra formed the group United Sisters. Lady B, may God bless her soul, she transitioned. Tigress, Marvelous Marva, and of course Singin Sandra. Here now, when United Sisters was around, let me tell you something. Who ain't dead badly wounded, you know? When you hear, they were all over. Remember War Donkey? But before I go to War Donkey, which I find they could have won road match, but that is our next story. They won the Song Festival, the National Song Festival with Ambatalia Woman. Yes, and that means strong woman. That song, you can still get it if you go up on YouTube. If you type in Ambatalia Woman, the song is still there. I think they came second in the Caribbean Song Festival. They won the National Song Festival and they came second in the Caribbean Song Festival. And they went on, listen, United Sisters used to be appearing all about. War Donkey, I remember going a carnival fete in, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was opposite the National Stadium. Right? They used to keep fete down there, down on that side. And listen to me, they were performing. Man and woman on top their back, because that is how people used to portray that song. War Donkey. Another artist, I think was Ronnie McIntosh, had a donkey song too. And it's woman on top of man back. Well, I know the younger ones, once you're under 20 years, you might be wondering, well, what is Warrior talking about, woman on top, man back? Yes. When that donkey song did come out, well, brother man, if your legs didn't strong and your back, you couldn't go no fete because you know your woman want to go on top your back. Yes. And that is how that song, listen, that song was very famous. As I said, I felt it was going to win road match. But we know the road match stories, right? And how that thing does go. That does swing last minute. So, United Sisters were formed. And Now they're not together. As I said, Lady B transition and Tigress doing her own thing solo. We have Marvelous Marva doing her own thing. But Singin Sandra, who I am speaking about, continue and continues to clear the track. She won Monarch, as I said, in 1999 and 2003. And here now, the song that she won with in 2003, one of the songs was 2 songs back then, Ancient Rhythms. Listen to me. That's my favorite from her. I like The War Will Go On to her. It's something about that song. But you see, Ancient Rhythms, listen, that song does turn up my spirit. Listen to me. I am going to perform that song one day, you know. I really, really love that song. And when she won, she really performed it as well. All of that, as I said, you can, you know, this is a show to educate and to inform. You could go up on YouTube and type in Singin Sandra, Ancient Rhythms. As a matter of fact, all her songs are there. And you will see what I'm talking about. You know, today Singin Sandra continues to be a beacon of light. She continues to be an inspiration to female Calypsonians. Those who are in the tent, those who are on the sideline waiting to come in. As I said before, we have room. The sky big enough for all kind of birds to fly in. Come in, man, come in. Whether it's gospel, so whatever, come in. It's about the lyrics. And to date, I have not heard Singin Sandra sing a smutty song. Or, when I say smutty song, let me backtrack that a bit. Not to say smutty song bad, but she have never sung a degrading song. Let me put it that way. So she continues to be an example. In so much so that I would have mentioned in my last show, when I was very active in the Spiritual Baptist Church, the church that I went to, I know not all churches would be like that. They had a problem with me singing calypso because as an ordained minister, right, I'm a reverend, Reverend Mother Allison. They had a problem with me singing calypso. But you know, at the time, you know, they probably didn't have someone to talk to them in a way to understand, well, listen, it's about the lyrics, right? Calypso can be used to even glorify God. But they didn't want to hear that. You know, some elders are. And we have to respect them still. Everybody have their way. And I remember making my argument in church and say, but look at Singin Sandra. Singin Sandra, the sing calypso. And from what I know, Singin Sandra is also within, you know, the Spiritual Baptist fraternity. I remember using her as an example to my elders. I said, so why I can't sing too? You understand? So I want to say on behalf of all of us, all the females in the Calypso arena, we want to say thank you, Singin Sandra. Thank you for all the works that you put in and continues to do. You understand? You know, we know you're not 20 years again and you ain't go fly up on a stage and, you know, with that same energy. But listen, as you self said, you will continue to sing until God ready for you. And I hope that is no time soon. May you have long life. May you continue to impart knowledge unto the younger ones who are willing to learn so that you will help them to represent the art form as well as you did or even better. Because it's about that, When we pass on the knowledge, you know, it's good for the teacher to sit back and say, ah, boy, that student make me proud. It is good when we could rock back and say that. We can't take our knowledge with us, right? It's about that. So, Singin Sandra again, thank you. And I didn't say it at the top, but special good evening to TUCO, to the president of TUCO, Latalo Masimba. Special good evening to you and your executive members. So, at this juncture, we're taking a little break for our course because guess what? We go into the guest corner, but I decide I will give the trivia question before we go to the guest corner because I realize like you always need to do a little research. So here the question. In the history of the NWAC Calypso monarch, there was a tie. Only once in the history of the NWAC Calypso monarch. I want you to tell me the year that happened and who were the joint winners. So yes, let me don't use tie before you start to talk about shirt and jacket. There were joint winners only once in the history of NWA Calypso Monarch. Tell me the year that happened and who were the joint winners. Again, here a little hint. Those two women now singing gospel, right? So hang in there. We're coming back with our two dynamic guests. So we back inside. Yes, man. I hope you went and researched the answer, you know. And as I said and will continue to say, give me it in one shot. Yeah, one shot. No parting. We no chaser. One shot. Down the hatchet. Give me the name of the artist, the two artists, and the year. Simple. Not two-part. Because time you take into type two-part, as I said, we have some people that are real quick with the fingers. And they will take the prize, they will take the cake away from you. So direct your attention. Good evening to my two beautiful fellow Calypsonians.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. And how are you all this evening?
Fine.
Very well, thank you. Thank
Very
you for
well.
having us.
Yes, Maria, here now. It took a lot to get the two of you all on this show because busy woman, eh? Well, don't talk for Maria. Madam Payne, Spa. I couldn't get you at all. Maria said, oh God, no, not that date. This date. No, not that time. I said, but what is this?
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
Like the president of Trinidad&Tobago. And I know, Sonia, you know, you have your own thing going on. I said, but they say, you know what? When you want good thing, patience, and it has come to you. So look, I get two all you one time. Here now, all you. You see this interview? I beg you all you, please don't make me laugh, eh?
Good try.
Right? They say they go try because they will ruin my makeup, not this evening. Right? I have on set two impersonators. Call the police.
Right.
Call the police. Two impersonators here with me. I don't know if it's Nicole Daya talking to, or I don't know if it's the lady from on Charlotte Street in the Chinese Association. I don't know, eh? All you, bear with me. But I have two impersonators. So I'll go to the one closest to me on my left. Singin Sonia. It's a pleasure again to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, again, all you have history long, you know. All you singing before Warrior even come in this thing. So I had to chop up all you. I had to summarize. But I'll get what I want out of you all. So, tell the viewing audience, tell me, when, see if you could remember when you started to sing Calypso. What ushered you into Calypso? When did that happen and where did it happen? Whether it was Best Village, whether it was school Auntie K, let us know.
Well, I was attending St. Dominic's RC at the time, and a school teacher by the name of George Martin asked me if I wanted to sing, and I said yes, and I entered the school competition, won that year, and kept going at it.
How old were you at that time? Well, like primary school.
Yes.
So, what, first standard, second standard?
Probably around second standard.
So, that is about what, 7 years? About 7, 8 years, second standard. So, were you in this thing, as they say, since Mary had a lamb? Since Mary had a lamb. So, you continued from there in the... So, we had Calypso competition in the schools long time.
Long
This is not just come thing.
No.
Right, and that is applaudable as well. Right, so you started off there singing Calypso in the school. And I want to believe that went into secondary school.
Of course, yeah.
And that secondary school was?
Move 11 till.
Move 11 till... That is not what they call success now, no. That's a different school.
Different school.
Okay, so you started singing in Move 11 till as well. You continued rather singing in Calypso in Move 11 till. Alright, so you went through school. Did you enter into the TUCO Calypso, Junior Calypso Monarch?
Yes, with Natasha Wilson, Marshall Montana, and myself.
Maria?
And
I know that. Natasha Wilson. Alright, I remember her now. I think she used to sing with Sparrow, you know, in the Mighty Sparrow tent as well.
They used to say that that's his daughter.
They used to say that's his daughter. Me, you know, Hello, I just say what the people say. They used to say that's his daughter. Right. Natasha Wilson. So when you entered TUCO Calypso Junior Monarch, we had people like Marshall Montano.
Yeah, Marshall won with the letter.
They say are too young to soca? Or the letter?
The letter.
The letter. Okay. I barely remember the letter. And we had Natasha Wilson in it as well.
Yes.
What you could remember what you placed? Well, was it once, or you would have been a finalist more than once?
Yeah, a few times. I placed second actually.
Okay.
Marshall Montano won with the letter, and another year I placed fourth with I placed second. Sorry, with Natasha Wilson winning with Reincarnation Wish.
Okay.
And at that time, I was attending the Move Laventil Junior Secondary School. After that, I attended St. Augustine Senior.
All right.
But I had some great teachers in Move Laventil that I want to express thanks to also.
Of course,
Mr.
yes.
Robinson, Mr. Utley, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Henry, George Martin.
Nice.
That was my best school.
Move Lavender.
Oh, yes.
Again, hey, SCA just went. And we know it's fixated in our minds. All you could say all you want. It's fixated in our minds that the children, we want our child to go a prestige school. And we don't want them to go certain schools. Again, that is our next discussion. But you see, mentally, you see the rubbish just have to come out here first.
True.
And we still believe that our children must go. Everybody can't go prestige school. As a teacher said, everybody can't be doctor and lawyer. What about the creative side? And I have found, not just in the schools, but in the, what they call ghetto communities, is where you get the most set of talent.
Correct.
I want somebody to challenge me on that. The most talented people came out of the, what they call depressed area, low income areas, etc.
Yes.
Right? And God don't make a mistake, boy. So you went to Mova Junior Secondary, Mova Laventil. And from there, well, of course, we're moving up. Tell me about your transition from juniors into seniors competition.
Transition, what you mean?
Meaning coming out of like TUCO Junior Monarch, and when you would have entered, for example, Calypso Queen Monarch, because I know you would have been a finalist many times in Calypso Queen Monarch.
Well, after Move Laventil, I went to St. Augustine, and I think I forgot to call Mr. Gonzalez's name. So Mr. Gonzalez, please forgive me if you're looking, yeah? Because I can't remember everybody.
Name, of course.
Yes, but after I left school, I entered the National Calypso Queens Finals. It had other competitions before that, which was juniors.
Right.
But of course, we must go into the bigger ones.
Yes. Get your foot wet.
Yes. And I entered a few times well before I won the National Calypso Queen.
And that was what year you won?
In 92.
In 1992. So we have a former Calypso Queen Monarch. And once a queen, always a queen. Not so, Maria?
Correct.
Once a queen, always a queen. Even if you're in win. Yeah, why they say? Once you line up to face the start as a finalist, you're a winner. Once you make it to the finals, because on that night of competition, anything can happen, Anything can happen. So, Sonia, you won Queens and you continue singing, right? I remember singing, Sonia, with singing a tribute to the mighty Shadow. He did not transition yet, Only mind you. That is how I remember. I wasn't singing yet. Again, Warrior all the time, Warrior watching everybody. I remember you sang a song in tribute to the mighty Shadow. Tell us about that song.
Well, that song, I always like Shadow as an artist.
Right.
I always like original, anything that is different, anything that is unique, anybody
Me
that
too.
is unique, that is me.
Correct.
Right? And I said, something, I want to imitate Shadow, So I started to write the song for myself. I wrote 2 verses and I couldn't go further.
You couldn't finish it.
I said I want to contact Shadow to finish his song for me. So he'll have an input.
Right.
And
Wisdom.
And it was great from there. It was great.
Maria, you did get Nicole Daya to do a little thing for you also?
No.
But no, I understand what she's saying because the person will put their essence into it.
Absolutely.
So you took the song to him and he completed it.
Yes, and we performed at the Queens, we performed at the March Gras finals. He made appearances with me in Skinner Park and so forth.
You won Queens with that song.
Yes.
Right, and I remember you in the March Gras.
Yes.
With that song as well.
Half
Yes.
black, half white.
Half black, half white. Yeah,
Never forget it.
Oh, you won't forget that. I tell you that when I hear singing Sonia, I remember that song. What you plays that in the March Gras with that song?
Sixth.
Please sixth. Alright, that was, listen to me. That woman just transformed. Let me tell all you one who she just transformed. She's singing Calypso Review. And I'm singing Calypso Review.
Here we go.
Oh gosh, I had to call review. But don't vex with me, right, Olia? Don't vex. Don't vex. Divas people. Don't vex with me. So, you sang out of the March Gras. After that year, did you make it, not 2020, after that year that you made it with the tribute to Shadow, was there another year you made it to the March Gras or only 2020?
Only 2020 after that.
So that's how many years after?
I can't count. You can count for me now. This COVID.
But right, it was a long while after, and then you make a breakthrough in 2020.
Yes.
Right. 2019, you did another Shadow song
Yes.
last year, right?
Shadow's Message.
Shadow's Message. You really like Shadow, girl. And he's a man to love because, as she said, his music is infectious. It's original, right? Dingole. That's my favorite.
Charismatic.
Listen, when I hear Dingole, I don't know what to do with myself. I doesn't know if to whine. I doesn't know if to just stand up and listen to the music. Dingole is a boss. I mean, all shadow music, but
Classic.
Dingole, boy. If your clothes tear up or your shoes bust up, you could still jump up. When music playing, oh lady, oh gosh, that's sweet. Dingole, may God rest your soul, mighty Shadow, and thanks again for the music. Thanks again. So last year you did is Shadows. Remind me the name of the song again. Shadows Message, right? You came second in Queens, right? Oh, I know she beat me. I came third, right? She came second in Queens. And 2020, we fast forward anything. 2020 now, you jump out. The whole of China. She jumped out with the whole of China. And so much so that I didn't even know. Oh, let's stop laughing. What you touching my guest for, my other guest for? Maria, raise your hand if she touch you again. Right?
She don't really care if you're not pleased.
Oh Lord,
listen. Right? The whole of China, listen to me, I didn't even know Sonia had a second song. Because the focus was on this song. Is in the March Gras. In what it is now called? It's not the March Gras because 2 years now TUCO would have separated. Right?
It's just Calypso one, huh?
The Thursday night, oh gosh. I remember. Kaisorama. I backstage. So when I hear Sonia with the second song, I say, but Sonia have a second song, okay. Well, I mean, they have to have a second song, but
right.
I'm saying that because, I wasn't hearing the other song playing. Everything was... Sonia, who wrote that song? And what inspired that song? That song about Chinatown. Tell us, who wrote the song and what inspired that song?
Well, the writer of the song is Christoph Grant.
Christoph again.
And
like Bacchanal.
I always like to impersonate, right? So he wrote that because of my capabilities.
Right, and what would have inspired it? The Chinatown? Was the Bacchanal with the sign?
Well, it was a dispute between the Charlotte Street vendors and the mayor of Port of Spain. Right.
I think I remember reading where it had the little to-in and fro-in and the sign went up and all the Bacchanal. But listen, so now let me ask you something. As an impersonator, I'm going to feel bad at calling an impersonator.
Well, they say I see mistress of impersonation, so if all you...
Well, you see between you and Maria Bhola...
Well, Maria jumped in.
I had to...
Maria jumped
No, I got to put a name in a hat. I got to put the names in it and choose, because me and no, between the two of you, like, I not saying nothing. I really ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing because I could have swear was Nicole Dyer was on the stage. No, I could have swear. A little bit again, I thought of that Sigari, the Commissioner of Police, sorry. You know?
Please.
So, that song, as I said, I remember reading the little thing, right, with the vendors and the sign going up and all that kind of thing. But tell me something. When I look at your performance, you know, I say, but she on roller skates. How Sonia foot moving so fast, you know?
Fast.
Yeah, fast. And Maria said, but like this girl, what? Good evening. Tell the people. Because, you know, yes, you're good, you're natural with it, but it must take some kind of preparation. Right? You wouldn't get up one day and, especially competition, you have to prepare. And it's a mental preparation more so. You have to transform. And coming from Best Village, you know, if you ever was exposed to acting, they tell you, get in character. You have to get into character even when you come off the stage. Stay in character until you reach in the dressing room. So tell us what it takes to prepare, what it takes to deliver that type of performance. Because I can't do it, you know. I can't even try.
Actually, I don't really rehearse, you know.
What?
Even with my shadow song, I never really practiced or anything. I just planned out the outfit.
Natural.
Yeah, I don't really rehearse. I am spontaneous.
So, how you came on stage to do that Chinese song? You didn't rehearse?
No.
You know your song, of course, and you just get into character?
Of course.
Aye. Listen now. People really born for certain things, you know?
Correct.
Because, first of all, I can't keep a straight face doing no song like that. I would laugh. I was involved in plays already, and they say, listen, y'all stop, you know, like sometimes they get caught up with the play, and the director
And
would
you
say,
laughing at the
what
jokes.
happened to all this? Stop laughing at the joke, y'all is part of the thing. I couldn't keep a straight face. So I know, you see humorous calypso and thing, waste of time. I can't enter that. And Sonia would be, you know, straight. She doing her thing. And she's now letting us know, well, listen, I am now learning this. Just like Sonia said before we came on set, Warrior, you know, I never know you talk so much flippiness. Warrior, me, I know you so funny. I know you have this serious face in the tent and think, Warrior, you look like a no-nonsense person, but I don't know you talk so much flippiness. You understand? I mean, you can't let everybody see who you are just like that. But Warrior real cool, yeah. So Sonia not saying, but I didn't know you talk so much stupidness, you know you so cool. So I didn't know, I'm now learning that you do rehearse. So it's a natural gift you have.
It's natural. It's like you're going to do an interview and you're going to practice what you're going to say in case they ask you this something. You will stammer, you will fumble.
And you know sometimes they don't ask you what you think they're going to ask you, Maria.
Yes.
It's better you just go up there and be yourself, whatever. If your mind tell you put your hands so, you put it so. Don't practice that you're going to put your hand like this.
Because as I like to say, you're going to be fake. And let me tell you something, somebody who is seasoned will know you're not flowing and you're not natural. You're fake. That is why, especially for this show, I say, listen, we lime in, we vibes in. I can speak the Queen's English. I can do that.
I can understand the Queen's English.
But I choose to talk colloquial. We come on the show, we vibes in. We relaxing. You understand? So you know you did natural vibes, Maria?
Correct.
Now, I jump in by you there. Sonia, stick up in. You're the same person, as I say, same type of artist, same person. I can remember Maria singing as Maria. Maria gave me a joke. Listen. She said she can't remember neither. So we're talking about photo shoot and thing. And you know, it's all about improvement, continuous improvement and development. So she said, girl, my friend Terry say, when I ask if I pity, I don't want Maria, Nicole Dyer. I don't want Jumbo. You have any picture of Maria? Right? When Terry tell me that, listen to me.
I can't remember who I am.
Listen up. She said, Terry, tell her, listen, you have any picture of you, Maria?
As Maria?
Yes, as Maria. Go all them people. So, listen, this again, just like Sonia, this has to be a gift. Because you could have choose to do any other calypso. You could have choose to be like me, doing serious thing, or you know, the normal Joe. but you choose to be an impersonator, and you do it quite well. Both of you, I must say,
Thank
you all do it quite well.
Thank you very
You know,
much.
quite well. Like all you're born to do this thing. But Maria, I go into, well, you had a long stint in Best Village. I read somewhere where you said Best Village was your stomping ground. Before you really come out in the bright lights, Best Village was your stomping ground. Tell us something about the group that you used to work with, you know, the type of things you used to do, whether it was acting, whether it was singing, because some people did more acting and then discovered they could sing.
Right.
Right? So tell us something about those years.
Okay, well, I started at the very tender age of 5. My aunt Marilyn Raphael, she passed on, God
Oh.
bless her soul. She was the leader of the group, and she introduced me.
Which
Of
group
course,
was
I'm
this?
Nisi.
Which group was
Well,
this?
let me take my time so I don't
Okay.
bite my tongue. It's Natak Sanstapan Kirtan Mandali.
No, I wouldn't even attempt to repeat that.
Most people just say Natak.
Right. So I just want you to repeat it slowly for those who listen, but I not going to repeat it.
Natak
Mhm.
Sanstapan Kirtan Mandali. Right.
Curtain.
Yes.
Curtain. Singing like it have a East Indian persuasion. In it.
Definitely.
You see? You see?
Definitely.
You see?
Yes.
Yes. So it had, all right.
And you know the interesting thing, as you said, the interesting thing is that almost every year that we entered Best Village, we would win the prize for the most, what was I can't remember the official name, but like the most mixed culturally group.
Because the
Because
group comprises East Indian, Afro, everybody.
Everybody.
A true representation of Trinbago.
Yes.
That is group to be in.
Yes.
That
yes.
is group to be in,
And
right?
even the people who were like the East Indian dancers and so, you should see them put down an African dance.
But I always say that is how it's supposed to be. That
Beautiful.
melting pot. That because since I'm going to school here, it's a cosmopolitan nation we living in.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be one stream or you stick to what you know. Cosmopolitan means a melting. But I can never forget that word. My social studies teacher used to be repeating that. Cosmopolitan, spell cosmopolitan class. So how can you forget? So you are an adult now and suddenly you seem to forget. Some of us seem to forget we live in a cosmopolitan nation.
Yes.
So tell us some of the things that you used to do in the group when you all go Best Village, etc.
I started off as a dancer because she would teach East Indian
Are you
dance.
serious?
Yes, a lot of people don't know that
So you could dance?
classical East Indian dance.
Alright, I will take you up
You
on
go-
that.
yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
Nice.
Yes, so I started as a dancer, and then she introduced me into the acting.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I could have seen you did very well in that.
Yes, actually at the age of 12, I won the prize for the best all-around female
In Best
performer
Village?
in Best Village. Yes, at the
Wow.
age of 12, I was shocked
Now
myself.
that was juniors or among everybody?
Among everybody, adults, children, everybody. Yep.
If at 12 years you won, so you see how, listen, our course, we only walk in the steps that were already ordained for us,
Yes.
Nothing happens, like a friend would say, nothing happens by happenstance.
Right.
I never, but I think he was trying to say nothing happened by guess.
Right.
But a friend of mine that live in New York, he said, nothing happens by happenstance. Because at 12 years, you won a prize for best
All-around female performer.
all-round female performer, 12 years of age. So that now usher you into, I would say, greater things.
Yes, I sang my first calypso in Best Village because she wrote a song. You know, they'd have different categories,
Right,
Best
yes,
Calypso. So she
yes.
wrote a song and she asked me to sing it. And so I sang it, and apparently the judges really liked it. She got a lot of great feedback. And with that, the following year, I asked her if I could use that song in a calypso competition in Sangre Grande.
Right.
Yes, and I won.
Where are you from, by the way? Sangre Grande?
No,
Okay.
I'm from Arima.
But I know you attended Northeastern College.
Yes, a lot of people think I'm from Sangre Grande because
Yes.
even my father to this day, I hope he's not looking, still want to know how I end up in Sangre Grande, yeah?
Oh, you end up in Northeastern
yes,
College?
because he did not put that down. You know, your parents have to put the
who
choices.
it? Maria, who put Northeastern College as a choice?
Well, Daddy wrote the choices in pencil.
Stop right here. I do not want to be questioned, and I don't want you to be questioned. Daddy wrote the choices in pencil. We will leave that right there, right? So from Sandy, I think you won Sandy Grande Monarch a year as well.
Yes, I won when I started entering the juniors, I won 3 years consecutively.
That's juniors in Sandy Grande, right?
Yes, and immediately after that I went on to the seniors and I won 3 years consecutively, and then I said, okay, that's enough.
Seriously?
Yes.
Sandy Grande Calypso Monarch, I never entered. I entered a Rima, Aruka, but I never went Sandy Grande.
Oh, okay.
But congratulations.
Thank you.
So all of those were formative years.
Yes.
Leading. So you jump in the thing with a song, it had to do with I Didn't Hit She, or it was about then the parliamentarian, Mr. Achong.
Yes. I didn't curse her.
I didn't curse her.
I said I love you.
I said I love you. And you won Queens with that.
Yes. That's 2007.
Who wrote that song, Maria?
Larry Harewood.
Larry Harewood. So listen, okay, let me fast track the thing a bit. Presently you write your own music.
I do.
You write your own song.
Yes.
But back then, wasn't you at the time?
It was me. Prior to Larry, it was me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to develop my skill in writing because
Right.
I saw where there were flaws.
Right,
And
okay,
I
yes.
felt that I could improve. And so I asked him, I was a little frightened, but because in my eyes, the people he was writing for back then were like big singers.
Big
lah.
singers, yes.
So how I gonna approach this big composer to ask, but I approached him and I asked if he would help me. I didn't ask him to write a song for me.
Help
I
you,
asked if he could
because
help
you
me with
already
my writing.
because you could write. You just needed some little guidance.
Yes.
Right.
So he was very willing, and he took up the challenge and he was assisting me, and then I became lazy and I was like, well, you can just write it now. So for a few years he was just writing it.
Writing the song.
I would just come to him with the idea and
Mhm.
he would do it, and I mean he executes
Yes.
very well.
Larry Harewood is one of those writers that we would hear about. He has produced many winning songs.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Larry Harewood. Juniors, nearly everybody is either Larry Harewood, Christoph Grant, and
Well, now Brian London.
Brian London. Yeah,
Yes.
no Brian London. So but it's good when you could write as well.
Yes,
And
it is.
It's interesting what Maria said. She said, let me go and get a little guidance. And nothing is wrong with that. I too would have sought the assistance of Brian London a couple of years, right? Now, because you are a writer, you could have an input. You could have an input and you could work with that seasoned writer.
Yes.
Right? And nothing is wrong with that at all. Nothing is wrong with even taking a song from somebody. Nothing is wrong with that.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, because sometimes there is something called writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, based on what is going on, right, in your life, you just can't write. The words ain't coming. And let me tell you something, writing is not to be forced. Sonia, you agree?
Well,
You can't force that.
No.
It's either you're getting the vibes to write
not.
or you're not getting the vibes to write.
Correct.
You cannot force that. I don't believe in, auditions is next month. You hear Queen's audition is next month. Let me go and see what I could. I don't believe in that. Every year Carnival is either February or March. Every year. That ever change except for when it was in May?
No.
Every year Carnival is the same time. So the rush thing, I don't believe in that. It don't work for me. I don't know. It
Certainly
probably
not
works.
for me.
It don't work for Maria either, and I guess it don't work for Sonia either. Because you want to give quality. You want to put out quality music out there.
Yes.
Right? So you want Queens with I Didn't Curse Her.
I love you.
I love you.
Yes.
You want Queens with that. And I think that did you enter the March Gras with that as well?
That was my first year at the
That was your
March Gras.
first year in the March Gras.
I placed 4th.
Tell me something, and we spoke about getting jitters the first time we enter big competition, and I said the first time I made it to Queen's final I was frightened. I was frightened. You heard it in my voice. The first few lines you heard it. Oh my gosh, I could just relive those moments. It was frightening. Now I don't get that. I was getting butterflies, but not frightened that, oh God, I want to go on stage. I can't do this.
Right.
You have experienced those kind of moments?
Yes, well, absolutely. When I heard that I got into the March Gras, because that's the competition. Of course, I was heartbroken shortly after to find out that I was not going to be singing on the big stage.
What do you mean?
Till I sing in Jean Pear Complex. That was the first year they held the competition in Jean Pear Complex. I cried. I was hurt. I was really hurt.
Because there's no comparison to the Savannah stage.
Grandstand, North Stand, the big stage.
I remember when it
Jean
went
Pear
Jean Pear
Complex.
Complex.
Yes.
They try a thing.
They tried.
And it didn't work out.
Not for me.
So you cried?
I
You
did
literally
cry.
cried?
I literally cried. You know what it is? Listen, it's not even... I think that there's something about that stage that I even miss, because even when on the second occasion, when I did the song with Nicole Dyer, on the second occasion it was in the Savannah,
Right.
but it was the grandstand only.
Yeah, no North Stand.
No
North
North
Stand, posse!
I long for the day for
That
us
is
to
when we both
return to that glory.
North and South.
North and yes.
Well, again, and it come like when the semi-finals was not in Skinner Park this year.
Yes, it was in Guaracara.
It was in Guaracara Park. Listen,
Yes.
those who performed said it was not the same.
It was not the same.
It was not the same. Skinner Park is Skinner Park. Guaracara is Guaracara.
We had bets out, who would come out and say Skinner Park, and you feel it.
Yeah, because that's so ingrained in you. So I can understand what Maria's saying.
Yes.
I can understand is that it's something about the atmosphere, something about the environment.
Yes.
Is the energies. There are certain places you cannot transport the energy.
That's history there.
That's history there, boy.
History on that stage.
Yeah,
there.
when you look down, so you see the big tree down in the back in Skinner
of
Park, and
course.
it's something.
Yes.
So I can understand what you're saying, but on a make sense note, it make no sense. We haven't thing in the Savannah and one side empty.
One side empty.
It only happens in the grandstand now, Sonia, and you could count people.
Yeah,
So what is the sense we having it North Stand, grandstand, and only a few people,
That's sad.
right? Tell me, Sonia, what you feel, what you feel can be done to bring back people to the Savannah, to have both North Stand, because it's nice to turn Sonia sing to the North Stand and grandstand are coming back at all, yeah. And what you think can be done to bring, if you think it is possible at all to get back that, because you would have performed and it was North and grandstand, right? So you could probably tell Maria, your experience of having North Stand and grandstand to perform to, and what you feel we could do to bring back that.
Just simply bring it back. It's a matter of choice.
Yeah, but the people...
Well, just push the culture more. Promote the calypso. More local, on more local calypso being played.
Why, I don't know now, but
Push, just keep pushing it. It will happen.
It's
You just have
plenty
that
working now.
confidence. Just have that confidence.
Plenty
Can't give
working on
up.
Maria.
We
Yeah,
can't give up.
Because things
Plenty.
dwindle. When you sang in the March Gras, it was packed. True or false?
Yes.
When you did the Shadow song, it was packed. And now look at what it has become.
Yes.
We could talk, we could identify a number of reasons why we believe it is at this stage. We could identify a number of reasons. I am one that always like to identify problems, because it's really easy to identify problems.
Yes.
I like to hear solutions.
I have one.
Let me hear. She said, I have one. Tell us before we forget.
Entertainment value.
Entertainment value.
Yes, we
That's
are
a nice
responsible.
slogan. Entertainment value.
We, the Calypsonians, we are the ones who are supposed to be responsible for bringing the crowd, making the people want to come out to hear us. And if we're not singing anything
True,
entertaining,
True.
people want to be entertained.
That is true. A big true, because people, listen, human beings, they get fed up very fast.
Yes.
They get fed up. And back then when people used, let me not even reach the Savannah yet. In the tents. Hey, tents overflowing with people. Judges night, you can't get a seat to sit down. People rush into
So let me
Yes.
ask you all something. You think it's just the lack of entertainment value that stopped the people from coming out?
No, as we said, you could identify different reasons, but she
Lot of
identified
different
one entertainment value, meaning people ain't getting their money's worth. People feel like, you see me, I go in the tent and they hear what they want to
Sounds
hear.
boring.
So people be boring.
That's one aspect.
That's just one aspect.
Yeah, it's one aspect.
But you could probably tell me something as you feel
No,
also.
well, I already told you, we just have to
Push
keep
the
pushing
culture.
it. We cannot give up, we can't lose faith and say, well, that was then and this is...
But pushing the culture, and I'm coming back to you, Maria, because this is interesting. Pushing the culture is a broad statement, right? That is as far as it is wide. We can push the culture in many ways.
Many ways.
We can have entertainment throughout the year for Calypso because Calypso is not seasonal.
Oh Lord, we keep
There are
trying
people
saying
who
that.
feel Calypso is only carnival
Carnival.
time and that's it. Calypso is not seasonal. So we can strive towards having events, Calypso events,
Yes,
throughout the year. I think 2020 is indicating that to us
absolutely.
in terms of virtual. People home, they're
And-
watching Facebook,
and bored.
they're home and bored. So there is the medium, TUCO. There is the medium for us to keep having something. Let's keep, listen, you know how much music the youths don't know about in terms of Calypso? You know how much music?
Yes.
Music from so many great persons, both alive and who would have transitioned, because it was only at carnival time. And if your neighbor buy the CD and play it, you hear it, or you hear it on the radio. Thank God to WAC,
Yes.
right, that we are hearing.
Thank God for
Thank God to Mr. Kenny Phillips and WAC, right, that he is fighting the good fight, and it is a fight.
Yes.
Right, we had Brother Superior, who tried it before, and it takes money to upkeep a station,
Yes.
right? So we have Iowa George as well doing his thing.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, okay, they are doing, and we can't have enough, eh? Don't say, well, Kenny and Iowa. No.
That is the same thing I brought up just now when I told you, keep pushing it.
Keep pushing it.
Yes.
We do our own thing.
That is
Exactly.
exactly what I was saying.
So Singin Sonia decide, all right, I doing a virtual show. We have to support. Maria might decide to do something in Easter next year. And this is what we're talking about, right? We have to get back the public interested.
More Calypso.
More Calypso. But you made a very good point, Maria. It's about the quality. It's about the quality of the material. It's about the quality. Because I've heard the elders talk about how it degraded, degenerated, to what now? To what now? A rhythm? 5-6 people on a rhythm. Well, I think that's more for soca. But, you're having things without substance.
Yes.
So, Maria, we're talking about you in the Mashgan, or your second year was with Nicole Dyer, when you portrayed Nicole Dyer. And again, I was there. And listener, I don't know who sew your clothes, but when Miss Dyer came on, listen to me, you saw the perfection in Maria's work. Yeah? Because I said, nah boy, I wonder if that Nicole dress. I want like
People actually message to ask, she Lenya?
but I said I wonder if that Nicole dress. Nicole maybe had two. Mrs. Dyer probably had two. And length, how it can't be so identical, boy. Well, of course. You're not going to find out now. She lend you, you make the dress.
No, I made it. Oh goodness. No.
Perfect, sir.
I'm a little more on the plum side,
Perfect, so that's watch me after the show. I want the name of that seamstress
Sure.
and contact, please.
Absolutely.
That, it was so perfection, and you told me as well, in conversations with you said, Warrior, I like to do things a particular way, have a particular standard. I like to aspire to do things to the best, and your work identifies that.
Thank you.
When you're playing Jumbo, the mustache, everything that she does, it's the type of performer. These two ladies here, they are the type of performers that you have to stand up. If you're in your house and they're on TV, you have to stand up and say, hey, look Maria. And you stand up right there and you have to, look Sonia. They hold your attention.
I learned from looking at Auntie Sonia as well.
I was the first person that brought drama into Calypso Queen.
I learned from
Imitation,
looking at
impersonation.
Auntie Sonia. Yes.
All you're good. All your good. I mean,
This is my child. And she's beat me to it because she wrote the winning song this year.
we comment on that. We comment on that. You know,
She learned from Auntie Sonia.
she learned from, and I tell you, sometimes the students just come wrong and be the master. You know, how to put it, the teacher always have the tricks that they don't share, but sometimes the students know based
Yeah,
on
like
how.
you're not rehearsing.
Yeah, I ain't able that one. You're not
Yeah,
rehearsing.
I
But
did
students
it has flown
develop tactics of their own.
Yes.
Sometimes the teachers say, but I never show them that one, right? So all you need really is the foundation because everybody have their gift. Everybody have their gift, and you just build on that. You just build on that. So it's fantastic. And when you can be your own, let me tell you something. Besides saving money to pay 10,000 people to be on stage with you as props, because a judge once told me, why you always have so much props? So they feel, listen, sometimes that don't help, you know. And I've heard the other side, don't worry them. Them judges on them like a set of props. Don't worry them. If you ain't have props warrior, you ain't gonna reach no way. They like props. So you get two sides, eh? You get
Yes.
two concepts. But it saves money when you can be your own stage presentation. And you know, I have to continue to call her name. Queen Ella Andel told me that she said, you is your presentation. How you put your face, how you sing, how you put your hand. And if you can dress up like these two ladies, well, all the better you are to it. The highest I have ever placed in any competitions when I had no stage props. When I alone did it by myself. When I dressed the part. That's the highest I place in any competition. In opposed to having a setter, woo, the whole band on stage. Sometimes they go over the time, they confuse you.
But it needs to relate, eh?
Exactly, and another thing, it don't tie into what the person's singing. So you're safe. You're safe when you do your own thing, right? You're safe. So Maria, 2019 was the Nicole, right? And 2020, you made it to Skinner Park.
Yes.
Or Guaracara.
Guaracara.
She made it to Guaracara with the Nut Song. She sang the Nut Song. What's the name of that song?
No entry.
No Entry. And we know that came about with the whole bacchanal with the nuts and the certain company and who can sell nuts and whatever. And you know this girl here now, all you're quick on it, you know. And that's what Calypso is about. You sing about the issue. So the bacchanal happened on Charlotte Street when the sign went up and thing.
Yes.
My girl here saying, huh?
One
Kai
time.
so in all your tail with that. I coming to tell all you.
One time.
We don't care if you do what? We don't care if
We
you.
don't really care.
We don't really
if you're
care if you're not pleased. She come and she
not.
drop
I
it on
telling
them.
people that
Yeah, no,
all
sh-
the time. I sing it.
And Maria here, current affairs. You know, and that is what Calypso is about. So you are well informed. So you sang about the nuts, man, Jumbo. Let me tell you, Jumbo are wrong long, you know, girl.
I know.
Jumbo, I remember going football in the stadium. And he is known for being able to throw a pack of nuts from here.
Yes.
Quite so. Watch me. I don't know how Jumbo does remember, but he coming for your money.
Going for your money.
Jumbo know all who he send nuts for and he coming for his money. I think now we have scouts. You have people coming to pick up the money. Long time Jumbo didn't have that. I'm telling you, long time them days and they go Martin, we going football in the stadium and Jumbo man. And then everybody else come after the nuts landing and everybody but Jumbo. So you sang a song and you use Jumbo. And that was good because it's like actually paying homage to a legend because
Yes.
Jumbo is a legend
Yes.
in what he does.
That's not the song I did in Skinner Park, eh?
No, you did a song,
Yeah, so another song, Carry On.
Carry On.
Yeah, that's the one
But-
I chose to do in Skinner Park.
But no, you preempt the question because I was coming to ask you why you didn't do the Jumbo song.
Because I felt that, you see, the thing is a vibe, eh?
True.
You see, when we spoke about the tent,
True.
when we spoke about the tent, now Jumbo played very well on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to the physical tent and the people, Carry On was mashing up the place.
Did I go to Divas tent? Yes.
Encore after encore for Carry On.
But when I came Divas tent, you did Jumbo the night I came.
Okay, well, we had to,
I
you
think
left early,
I
we
came-
always had to
yes,
do two.
I think I saw you. I didn't hear the other one maybe.
Okay, probably.
Right.
Yeah, but
Jumbo where you dress up like the Nutsman and he suck inside and well,
Yeah. Well, that other one I felt, Carry On, I felt there was a message that I really wanted. I knew a lot of people were saying, oh God, we can't wait, Jumbo, come in. The
again,
message.
stick up in, not stick up in, let me jump on that. Sonia, sometimes, and I'm coming back to you because you're in the thing longer,
Yes.
right? Than both of us. You're our senior. You have the experience. Sometimes you're singing a song that mashing up a tent, and that's as far as it goes. I would hear people say that tent song, and it's staying right in the tent. It goes no further.
Yeah.
So it mashing up the tent. That mean that tent, that song going on good with the judges in Skinner Park. And from what I understand, those that came to the tent to judge is not the same judges in Skinner Park. It's not the same judges that you have
For
on the
match,
final night. So it mashing up the tent. But sometimes we get tired up with that. Sonia, I remember in 2019, the Shadow Song, the second Shadow Song, not the one you won Queens with, you was mashing up the tent. Review was mashing up. Anchor, I remember that. But Sonia, I don't think you made it to Skinner Park with the song. Right? And everybody was like, well, how Sonia make it to Skinner Park? While we are not judges, we are just there to execute and to do our best. I believe there is some truth to not all songs work well in specific places. And they say the voice of the people is the voice of God. So maybe you should have done Jumbo in Guaracara.
Well, people...
Because again, it was attached to an icon. You know, it has certain things that just connect with Trinidadians, boy. Jumbo. And you drop a Jumbo song in Guaracara. But it done go on already.
Yeah.
And we can all learn. You understand what I'm saying? We can all learn. So, I'm going to ask you all questions that I would have asked everybody. And we spoke about growth and development. And we all have things that we want to see done better going forward. I will ask Maria this question first. Tell me, and by extension, tell the viewing audience, and I know we have TUCO representatives who would listen, a couple things, I wouldn't tell you one, give me a couple things that you would like to see done better by the executive of TUCO, and TUCO by extension is the Calypso fraternity. Tell me a couple things you would like see done better for us to go the extra mile. As Sonia said, we need to push the thing more. So give a couple little,
Okay, well, the first thing I would say, definitely communication. We need to work on communication.
Listen, communication.
We need to work on communication between the executive and its members. That's for us.
Right.
Right? There is so much that we can learn from each other.
Right.
And I think that we need to create the forum and the platform for it. We talk it,
and we
but
do
we
execute
don't do
it.
it.
And we do execute it.
We don't.
I feel I might only have to take one suggestion from you because the winding me up.
The winding, yeah.
Yeah. So communication, which is a big thing in any facet of life, when communication is poor, all fall down.
Yes.
Yeah? Any type of relationship. Platonic, intimate, corporate. If you don't have good communication, waste of time. So take note, TUCO, take note, communication, right? The artists want to see better communication. Sonia, tell us, and by extension, the viewing public, what you think is something that can be done better by the executive arm of TUCO, by the administrative arm of TUCO, to assist Calypsonians, to assist the whole fraternity. What can be done better?
Well, cooperation.
Cooperation. In terms of a more synergy, a more togetherness with the artists.
Yeah, well, TUCO is doing a great job, but we could cooperate.
Better. Things can also be better.
I wouldn't say better because they're trying.
Right.
They're trying their best and they're doing a great job.
But you think cooperation. Cooperation then you mean with the artists, because if you're saying TUCO is doing a great job, then I can only guess you mean then let's cooperate and help them.
Yeah, well, we all could cooperate and carry the thing forward.
Right. Okay, yes. Good point. Because That's a very good point because a lot of time, mommy a cook. Mommy a wash the clothes. Oh gosh, mommy.
Help
But
mommy.
only in the house, so help mommy now.
Mommy.
Whoever come home only throw on a pot. Right? So cooperation, very good point. Right? So communication, the two C's.
Yes.
Communication and cooperation. And again, the hour up, you know. I feel at a lobby for more time. But people telling me, oh, go Warrior, the show too short. But you know, them same people, when the show extend, they might say, oh God, I'm bored. Right? So we want to keep you wanting more. So I would like to thank you, my two beautiful guests, the two impersonators. Call the police. Maria Bhola and Sonia, Singin Sonia, the beautiful Singin Sonia. Thank you again for being my guests on the Feminine Drive as we celebrate Calypso History Month, because I know you're all really, really busy. And I will jump in the paint spa. Timing is everything. I will get there. I will get there. So to you, my beautiful and supportive viewing audience, you know we will announce the winner of the trivia question. Yes, I want to know who went to because I want cake. I begging. I ain't shame. I begging. I want a cupcake, please. So I'm going to put out the winner. And yes, I pity with them collecting the cake, right? So thank you again and enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. See you next time on The Feminine Drive.